The day of restaurant grand opening had ended and only three people remained inside. Flexi raised his glass with a big smile. Flexi, congratulations, Jungkook and Taehyung follow, clinking their glass together. Jungkook looked at Taehyung with pride, nodding with a warm smile. Flexi again, honey, fiance is really good. He played the saxophone so well. He glanced at Jungkook, obsessively teasing. Flexi teasing your face when Han introduced him priceless. Jungkook glanced at Flexi trying to hide his embarrassment. Jungkook with a small smile, he charming Taehyung smile. Next time you can play the guitar, Jungkook. Jungkook let out a laugh and shook his head. Jungkook, no way, Taehyung pleading, please, honey. And I talked earlier after a performance. We want to add a few late so for the customer, not every day. Just some nights. He looked excited as he continued. I can't play on Friday nights. I know you are busy with work. So many you couldn't play on Saturday. Jungkook raising his eyebrow. Taehyung chuckled softly. Taehyung, but a few times I heard you were amazing. Your guitar is just sitting in the library doing nothing. Jungkook grinned. I did notice practice a bit before I play again. We all see his stage is on sucker trying. Jungkook. Anyway, it's been a long day. Should we go home and rest? You need to be back here early. Taehyung. Suddenly, let's sleep at your place. Flexi laughed and leaned back in his seat. Flexi, should we just move back in there? Seriously, it feels like we are living in two homes. Either we adjust Jungkook place as he at ours. He growled him a playful kick. Flexi, and this Brett has been sleeping over there even you are not home. Taehyung defended himself with a grin. Taehyung, his place is closer to the restaurant and I have some work nearby sometimes, so it's easier to stay and rest there. Flexi rolled his eyes but smiled. Flexi, you two see each other more than anyone else, and when you are not together, you are always talking on the phone. He raised his eyebrow at Jungkook. Flexi, the only time you will part-8 when you are on business trip. Jungkook raised both hands like he was surrounding. Jungkook, why are you getting jealous of me? He's been busy with his girlfriend. We don't even meet that often anymore. Jungkook snorted, crossing his arms. And how many times do I have to say that honey and I are just friends? You already meet her fiancé. Jungkook looked at him, voice rising slightly. Jungkook, well, I don't know. Before you were always talking about her. You were always together and you look at her like she was the most fancy person on earth. Blink in disbelief. Tell me, I've been telling you everything. You are the one who never listen. And when did I ever look at honey like that? Flexi raised both hands, laughing nervously. Flexi, hey, don't fight it in front of me. No, Score up, please. Both Jungkook and Taehyung turned and glared at him at the same time, making Flexi laugh even more. Flexi teasing Taehyung, he was just jealous and being possessive, can't you see? Jungkook grinned and lightly slapped Flexi on the back. Jungkook, annoying. What are you talking about? Flexi smacking. It's normal. I feel jealous too sometimes, especially when Taehyung gave more attention to you than to me. He winked, the mischievous dancing in his eyes. Flexi, Taehyung, you were jealous of Jin, right? Taehyung didn't answer. He only pouted, looking down at his glass. Flexi giggled, seeing his brother pout, and Jungkook confused face. Flexi, oh wow, both of you are too much. It's like watching a slow drama. Jungkook laughed softly, eyes slightly glazed. Jungkook, why are we drinking again? He looked at him with a goofy grin. They were seated on the floor in Jungkook's living room. Early they had played online game together and decided to make it fun. Whoever loved make a drink, but Jungkook kept losing, and so he kept drinking. drinking now. He was tipsy and losing even more. Taekook laughed out loud, his eyes bright with amusement. He had never seen Jungkook like this before. It had been a long and a tiring day, and all he wanted was to relax. So he came over to Jungkook's place. Jungkook leaning against the car. Jungkook, why do I always die in the game? Taehyung shook and shook his head. Taehyung, I've never seen you so before. Jungkook covered his face with his hand, his cheeks red. Jungkook, and look at me, my face is burning. I'm already a mess, and you are sitting there like nothing happened. Taehyung grinned and held up the bottle. Taehyung, stop complaining and drink. It's your penalty. Straight shot, no excuse. Jungkook obediently took the glass, but as he tipped it back, a drop slipped down his chin. He clumsily wiped it away, his hand a little shaky. His movements were light and sloppy now, clearly from the drink. Taehyung was even more. Taehyung watched every move. His eyes lingered longer than they should. His heart started. It beat faster, nervous and unsure, but something in him couldn't hold back anymore. He slowly reached out and placed his hand behind Jungkook's neck. He gently pulled him in, tightened his face to meet his own. Taehyung whispered almost breathlessly, Taehyung, come here. Then he leaned from and him. Jungkook frozen, eyes wide. His body didn't respond for a moment, but then, as if the drink gave him the courage, or maybe just removed his fear, he leaned in the softness of Taehyung against his. It was not enough. He pulling Taehyung closer, his hand moving to the small of his back. The glow playfully, like something they had been holding back for too long, like the world around them disappeared. After a while, Taehyung melted into the embrace. His body relaxed completely, his eyes closed, his nose against Jungkook's neck with a tiny smile. Taehyung, sleep. He sounded so soft, so sleepy. Jungkook gently stroked Taehyung back in the slow motion, comforting and steadying. Jungkook stressed, I will cut you. Next morning, Jungkook stretched awake. His eyes blinked open as he felt the warm bed blink. Inside his sun was still gently wrapped around Taehyung, who was sleeping peacefully, his face calm and glowing with the sun. Jungkook stared at him for a long time. Jungkook thinking, did we go too far? Did I make him feel something he was not ready for? What if he regretted it? What if he was just lost in the moment? He gently pulled his arm from under Taehyung's head, careful not to wake him. Taehyung moved slightly in his sleep but didn't open his eyes. His hand searched for Jungkook in his sleep, but Jungkook stepped away. He stood beside the bed watching the boy he loved so deeply. Jungkook whispering, I'm sorry, Tae. He picked up his hoodie from the chair, quietly opened the door and stepped out of the room. Time escaped. Taehyung slowly opened his eyes. His brain was still a little foggy from sleep, and for a moment he lay there without moving. The soft, familiar scent of the carpet around him gave comfort. The colognes, the texture, it was clearly Jungkook. Taehyung softly to himself, this is Jungkook's room. As the memory of the last night started returning to him piece by piece, a small smile frowned on his lips. His heart fluttered. He remembered the game, the laugh, the drink, and then the warmth in his chest. But suddenly his smile vanished. He sat up quickly. Taehyung worried. Wait, he looked around and realized he was alone in the room. His eyes scanned every corner, no sign of Jungkook. He looked down at himself and frowned. He was fully clothed in a clean cloth. Taehyung murmuring, was I dreaming? He shook his head slowly, tried to make sense of it. Taehyung confused. No, it feels so real. It can't be a dream. Feeling the sudden need to see Jungkook to confirm it if what happened was real, he got up and headed to the door, but as he touched the door, his cheek flushed red. The memory of the kiss, the closeness, the way Jungkook held him, everything came back with face. His heart started racing. Taehyung whispering, what will I even say to him first? I started it. He peeked outside the room carefully, expecting to see Jungkook somewhere, but instant silence greeted him. The whole house felt too quiet. Taehyung softly, Jungkook, no answer. He padded softly across the hallway and peeked into Jungkook's bedroom. It was empty. The bed was neatly made. He turned to living room and paused. Everything was clean. The mess from their drinking game gone. The bottle, the snacks, even the small pillow they sat on. Everything was neatly arranged, spotless. Then, talking to himself, was I really dreaming? His heart clenched. A part of him screamed that it was not a dream. He remembered the feeling of Jungkook's lips, the way their hands touched, the sound of his heartbeat again. Jungkook just no dream couldn't be that vibe. Feeling restless, he wandered around the house, checking the kitchen, the balcony, even the bathroom, but Jungkook was nowhere. Taehyung returned to living room, picked up his phone, and immediately dialed Jungkook's number. Taehyung whispered, maybe he just at the company, but the call rang and rang. No answer. He tried again and again. Still nothing. He sent a message. Taehyung text, where are you? We need to talk. He started at the scene waiting, but there was no reply. The incision in his chest grew heavier. I'm thinking he wouldn't ignore me, right? He signed and stood up. He need answer. He need to see Jungkook and talk face to face. He stepped into the bathroom to take a shower. As he stripped off his clothes, he paused in front of the mirror. His eyes widened. There was a faint on his upper and shoulder, little red mark that had been 3 days. He leaned closer to the mirror, a small wound on his lower lip. His finger brushed over it gently. Taehyung softly, so it really happened. He wasn't drunk last night. He had a few shots, yes, but he remembered everything clearly. It was Jungkook who was tipsy girl, frustrated, falling over things. But I felt so relaxed with him. I leaned on him and then him. His voice was barely above a whisper. He stared at his reflection, emotions swelling in his eyes, then thinking, did he regret it? Is that why he left without saying anything? He touched the edge of the mirror and let out a quiet breath. Jungkook, what are you thinking now? He closed his eyes for a second, tried to calm his racing thoughts. Then, with resolve in his heart, he returned on the shower and quickly, we need to talk. We have to. It was still early in the evening, and Jungkook had been staring blankly at his computer screen for what felt like forever. He had just finished a long conference call for the past 3 days. He had only been focusing when it came to work. Everything else, his heart and mind, felt shut down or lost. The memories there were free nights ago kept letting him tighten his chest. Every time he thought about it, Jungkook thinking, why did it have to happen? Why like that? He had been answering the call. He just couldn't. He was not ready yet. He was already straight with how the business education was slow falling apart since arriving here. He only managed to send the a short message. Jungkook message, we all talk when I got back. The doorbell rang absently. Jungkook walked to the door expecting the dinner he had ordered, but instantly standing in front of him was Taehyung. Jungkook asked warden slightly, but he didn't say a word without greeting. Taehyung stepped inside, running past him. His movements were tense. He went straight to the nearest seat and sat down heavily. His eyes scanned the scattered document on the table, and his eyebrows frowned deeply. Taehyung angrily under his breath. So you are still working while I can't barely breathe. His heart was pounding and his feet were clean-tighted as he said he had been holding in all the frustration and pain the past few days. Even while chasing after Jungkook and suddenly tracing where he had gone, he had kept it all inside him, thinking how good he worked so calmly while I was falling apart. It was not easy to point Jungkook. He had gone to the company only to be told Jungkook was not there. Hardly anyone know about his sudden trip, not even Flexi. It was only this morning that Flexi called to tell him the location. Taehyung had booked a flight immediately. Still, Jungkook hadn't answered a single call. Jungkook approached the table without looking at him, quickly packing up the scattered papers. Jungkook calmly, what are you doing here? Taehyung tightened at the question, his eyes burning. Taehyung calm but firm. Let's talk. Jungkook lowered his head, his heart clenched, hearing the anger in Jungkook's voice. Jungkook quietly, I told you we all talk when I got back. Taehyung sharply, and when is that? Jungkook softly, Taehyung rising, avoiding me won't change the fact that it happened. Jungkook glanced, Jungkook murmuring, it shouldn't have happened. I was drunk that night. Taehyung suddenly said, standard in his voice, but it did happen and we both enjoyed it. Jungkook guilted harder. I shouldn't have. We shouldn't have. It was a mistake. That what mistake crushed Taehyung's heart. His eyes were now bloodshot and holding back his emotion. He clenched his jaw, first trembling, tried to hardest to stay calm, but he couldn't anymore. He stood up and in just a few strides, Jungkook he grabbed his waist tightly. Jungkook slightly, what are you? His words were cut off as Taehyung suddenly him, unlike the sob from the 3 nights ago, but one was filled with pain. Without letting go of Jungkook's waist, Taehyung began drag him towards the nearby bed. Jungkook stumbled, falling back on the bed, Taehyung climbing on top of him. Jungkook but hardly. Taehyung, you are hurting me. But Taehyung didn't stop right away. Then slowly he softened his lip, brushes gently against Jungkook, whispering apology with every mood. He planted delicate on Jungkook's lips, lower his grip on Jungkook's waist, loosened, and he gently began them. Now Jungkook could finally see unshed tears beneath Taehyung's eyes. It felt like something in his heart. Taehyung opened his eyes and met his Taehyung softly. What it mistake? Jungkook's eyes wet. No, Taehyung whispered, then stop driving me crazy. Jungkook reached up, wanting to touch Taehyung's face, but Taehyung caught his hand and him palm gently. Taehyung softly, you don't have to say anything right now. Then he leaned on and him again, slowly, this time arguing him to respond to feel what he was feeling. Jungkook couldn't hold it back anymore. His lips moved without desire. Each other, their breath were heavy. They gently Jungkook pulled them over. So Taehyung was snarling on top of him for a while. They said nothing, just stay close, heart to heart. Jungkook whispered, "I want to be close to you, but only if you are ready. Can I you tonight with all my heart?" Taehyung looked into Jungkook's eyes full laughs and scarcity, no pressure, just pure love. Taehyung, I've been waiting for this moment, Jungkook. I want to give myself to you. I trust you. Jungkook softly holding his head tighter. Thank you for trusting me. I promise I'll be gentle. I'll stop whenever you want. Just say the word. Taehyung leaned and Jungkook slowly. Jungkook wrapped his arms around him, pulling him closer, but still careful not to rush. Jungkook, you are my everything. I will protect you. Taehyung breathing softly, and yours tonight and forever. Jungkook whispered sweet word at his Taehyung's skin gently. Jungkook, if anything feels uncomfortable, tell me right away, okay? Just love me, Jungkook, that's all I want. Jungkook nodded. They are forever together. The room was filled with soft whisper, shared breath, and love, so it made them tear up. Time escaped. Jungkook stroking his back, whispering, "Did I hurt you?" Taehyung smiled softly, a little, but it's alright. Jungkook let out a breath, laughed, his heart finally feeling lighter. Jungkook smiled. Taehyung quickly checked on Jungkook's chest. Jungkook softly Taehyung then reached for Jungkook's chest. Taehyung smiled. They are breathing the same or not. He looked at Jungkook with gentle eyes. Taehyung, I was thanking you for being so wonderful, and it was me who lost control last night. I first and tonight too. I've been loving you for so long. Jungkook in shock. Taehyung and Jungkook's surprised expression. He struck his cheek softly. I thought you felt the same, but then you pulled away. You almost drove me crazy. Do you know how I felt waking up alone after that night? I thought we couldn't finally talk, finally be together. Jungkook was speechless. Everything felt like a dream. Taehyung softly, how could you run away like that? Jungkook didn't respond. His mind was struggling with everything he just heard. Taehyung exclaimed slowly, watching Jungkook's turned face. He could see his thought wandering again. Taehyung gently, we all talk more later now. What we know, how we feel, we have time. He placed himself, Jungkook, and hugged him gently. Taehyung whispering into his ear, I love you. He spoke with words, his heart full. The next morning, Jungkook walked into the room with a bridal smile on his face. He had just finished his morning meeting. The navigation, the project was taking more time than he thought, but today his mood was so much better. Jungkook looked at the bed. Taehyung was still asleep. The white sheet covering the bare body. He was lying on the stomach on his small shoulders. When Jungkook walked closer and gently exposed shoulder. Jungkook softly, good morning, sleepyhead. Still not satisfied, Jungkook leaned down and Taehyung forehead softly. Looking careful, Jungkook noticed the stitches along Taehyung's neck, and his smile grew wider. Those were the marks on last night. They had made love for half the night, letting out all the feeling they had kept inside for so long. They had missed each other so deeply. Taehyung groaned softly, still heartless. Taehyung mumbling, Jungkook brushing Taehyung's hair gently. Are not you hungry? It's already lunchtime. Taehyung reached out sleepy and wrapped his arms around Jungkook's waist, pulling him closer. He raised his face on Jungkook and slowly opened his eyes. Taehyung with a sleepy smile, I feel so all over. How do you still have energy to do work after last night? Jungkook laughs loudly, stroking Taehyung's head because I have to finish everything quickly so I can be with you more. Taehyung let out a soft smile and deeper into Jungkook, closing his eyes again. Jungkook looking down at him fondly, fingered the hair a while before gently patted him. Jungkook, come on, sleepy baby, let's get you up. Carefully, Taehyung walked into the bathroom. He turned on the water and prepared a warm bath for him, hoping it would help smooth his sore body. After a few minutes, Jungkook returned to the bed and pulled the blanket up. Slowly, he leaned down, lifted the drawer Taehyung in his arms, who automatically wrapped his arms around neck. Jungkook smiled, let's take a bath and get you clean. Taehyung giggled softly, still not fully awake, and leaned his head against Jungkook's shoulder. Taehyung playfully, carry me forever like this. Jungkook with a small laugh, gladly, I'm never letting you go again. With Taehyung in his arms, Jungkook carried him into the bathroom, their heart filled full of warmth.